Hi guys, Alistair Taylor here, and today we're going to do long drive contest, TAYLORMADE M1, Jason Day's driver, against the Nike Vaporfly Pro driver, which is Rory McIlroy's driver. So Jason and Rory, probably the two best drivers of the ball in world golf. Might put Adam Scott in there, but for today's argument, they're the two best ones, and these are the drivers those guys are using. We're going to hit 6 shots on SkyTrack, so closed data. We're going to see which one comes out on top to hit the ball the furthest. So it's just before the Masters 2016. Jason Day's just got back to world number 1. So we're going to use Jason's driver first, M1. Like I said, this is set 9.5 stiff, low spin for me. I have done review videos on both, so we're not going to get into the technical stuff. But behind the ball, I think this looks fantastic. And it feels equally as good. And I remember from my review videos some really good numbers with how this driver performs, but I haven't done head for head against these two, so I'll be interested to see which comes out on top. So first shot was a good solid one. Second one just turned over a touch. And very adjustable, both of these drivers. I mean, obviously I think M1 is a little bit more adjustable than the Nike, but I wouldn't tinker too much with it. I think I'd have it set low spin as it is, but other than that, everything else would be very neutral. And I can understand why this has already been a massively successful driver. You know, I mean, is M1 making Jason Day hit it the distance he is? No, I think Jason would hit anything very well. But he's got this dialed in as well as he can. And I think his driving has been a huge part of why he's got to world number 1. So last 3. Getting a little bit more turny. That's down to me though, not the driver. But last couple. And certainly for me at the moment, the Nike driver, the Pro, is the one that is currently in my golf bag. Again, very solid, a bit straighter. And I think for any of you guys that have watched my other comparison videos, I think you'll start to see that when the drivers are set up as correctly as they are for me, the performance is very close. Very close. So final one with M1. Maybe a little bit low off the face, but just turning over a touch. So half a dozen solid ones. Wouldn't say the best I've ever hit, equally wouldn't say the worst I've ever hit. So let's switch into Rory's driver. Now, I would love to hit driver like Rory or Jason. Neither of those are realistic with my clubhead speed, but let's see how Fly Pro performs. There's my stock one, little draw. Felt good, and I think feel is very based on sound. I've hit a lot with both drivers, but not side by side. I do think, for me personally, the TAYLORMADE feels faster off the face. Be interesting to when we look at numbers to see which one actually comes off the quicker. But it still feels quick. Still feels quick. That was about as good as it gets strike-wise. Now, any of you guys that have been fitted for a new driver, I'm interested if you hit these side by side, which one performed better for you? Was it end up neither of these? And for me, probably shaping this one a little bit less. Again, I think that's down to me. You know, just getting that club face a little bit closer to my swing path. And I am very comfortable with this. Like I said, this is what's currently in my bag anyway. A little bit out of toe, so a bit higher, shaping back. Last couple. And to be honest, I think I could have either of these in my bag and still perform very, very well, and I'd be confident and comfortable with either. Definitely for me been a bit more accurate with this one. One final one, and then we'll look at some numbers. Distance isn't the be all and end all with driver, it's got to be in play. But for today's, it is all about who hits it the furthest. One final one. And again, good and solid. Okay guys, so let's look at some numbers for TAYLORMADE M1 against Nike Vaporfly Pro. Okay guys, so we look at the two drivers side by side. Ball speeds of 150 against 149, so almost identical. Club head speed at 103 to 100, again almost identical. Launch angle of 12.1. Both drivers were 9.5, so expecting them to be very close, if not that close. The Nike driver just spun it a little bit more compared to the M1. M1 is set very low spin. Carry 246 over 238 and 273 overall. Identical yardages from the two drivers tested today. Okay guys, so we look at numbers and total dead heat. So like I said earlier in the video, the more of these videos I do, kind of the closer and closer these perform. For long drive though, we do need a winner. And because total distance is the same, we're going to go on carry, which for that, the Nike Vaporfly Pro just comes out on top. Now, clearly that was just down to they both launched at the same angle. The Nike one actually just spun a little bit more, which would have given it a little bit more carry and not quite as much roll. Be honest, either of those could be in my bag and I'd be happy with how those results were. I don't think it was necessarily my best day for club head speed. Ball striking was solid, if not absolutely ripping it every time. But have to have a winner, and today's winner was the Nike Vaporfly Pro, so Rory's driver. Who's going to come out on top at the Masters? Probably a lot of you guys watching this video will already know because that happened. But Rory's driver against Jason's driver, for me, Rory's driver came out on top. If I was having either one of them drive the ball for me, I'd probably have Rory as well. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and share it if you have. Leave any comments below. I'll try and get back to as many of you guys as I can. Leave any requests of things that you'd like me to compare against each other. Is there any swing tips or advice you'd like me to put on here? Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here in the future. Stay in contact.